Welcome to part 3 of our presentation video session. My name is Sharafadin Elegbede, the technical director of the company. This video clip features staff attendances and payroll management. I want to launch the software first. That's the splash screen of the software loading. Log in with the correct user ID and password. So in order to make use of this software, the Magbesa Intellitoria school management software, to handle the payroll and the staff databases of your school, you need to do few customizations. And one of the major customization you need to do is under the payroll settings here. I click on the start button, click payroll settings. It takes me to this page. I want to start from staff category. We all know that the staff in every school can be categorized into either the academic and non-academic staff, but you can do further classification of your staff. It depends on how you organize your payroll. For this particular school, we have admin and overhead staff, we have boarding staff, we have senior staff, teaching staff, and transport staff category. So you can decide to add more. If you click on the add button, it gives you the opportunity to add new staff. Just insert all these parameters to create a new staff. You go to allowances, you can add new allowance, but we have got some allowances already set up here already. We go to grade. I actually want to show us how to create the grade. We click on the add button, staff category that we want to do the grade for. A staff could belong to any of these categories. So let's do senior staff category. We want to do a grade under this. Let's say SS level 1. The basic salary of that staff 45,000, and let's assume that we express this in as a monthly pay. Allowance. So we are going to define the allowance amounts for this particular staff. Allowance value, let's say 12,000. We click that this value represents an actual value. Click OK. So observe that the figure has changed. The gross pay figure has changed to 57,000. We click, let's say housing allowance, let's assume it's 10,000 naira, and it's an actual figure as well, the actual value as well. We click OK button. Let's assume that the transport or the meal, let's say meal is 5%. We go for the other option there, represent a percentage of. We click OK. We click OK button again so that it takes effect, and that's actually calculated as 2,250 naira, because it's 5% of 45,000. Let's go for another allowance here. Let's say additional benefits is 12,500 for this particular grade. Don't forget, we are defining the salary structure for SS level 1. We click OK button. So the total salary package for this particular level is 81,750 naira. So we can click save button there. So if we have any general deduction that we want, we can click on deduction setup. Tax rule setup, that is applicable if we want to define the tax rule for our company or the school. Entitlement computation rule is also available. Then we have the biometric device and attendance rule. This is very key, especially if we are activating the automated attendance system for our staff. So we need to define all these parameters. Latest sign-in time, you can specify it. You can specify the earliest sign-out time, the lateness charge, the amount that we want to charge if a staff is late, and we can also can specify either is per day, or we want to use the pay rate, the daily rate for that particular staff, or the 100 naira is per hour. So it depends on what we want to do, 100 naira per minute, or per hour, or per day. Or if we want the daily rate applied based on the basic pay for the staff, we just click on that, and the software calculates the daily rate using the basic pay for a particular staff to come up with the penalty charge for them. So it depends on what we want to do. I'll leave it as per day. Let's say 100 naira per day here. Can also specify some other parameters here. Absent all day charge per day, you can fix it. Absent all day charge per day, if it's half day, you can also specify. If somebody is late for half a day, if somebody is absent for half a day, how much do we want to charge? We can also specify that in there. Apply the offense charge if rule violated more than. So at times we might want to pardon some staff, depends on the decision of the management. So if a staff, if we put 3 here, that means after the third offense, that is when the penalty charge will be applied. Also, if our management decides to pay overtime to staff, we can specify that settings there as well. Offense to pardon, if there could be 3 different types of offenses. There could be lateness, there could be absence, there could be abscondment. So if we have any of these offenses, we may choose to pardon maybe lateness offense, or abscondment offense, or absent offense. Depends on what we want to do. Or we want to allow the staff, we want to pardon all the offenses, depending on the number of times, the figure that we put here. If it's 0, we don't have to we may not have to put in any figure. We may not have to choose any option here if the figure here is 0. So we also have the public holiday settings. That's very important. If there is public holiday, because we don't want the biometrics device to report people that they are absent on the public holiday days. So you need to tell the software from so dates to a particular date, don't apply the penalty, because people are actually on public holiday. We already have fixed holiday dates. 1st of January, we can see it there. 1st of May, 27th of May, the Democracy Day, Independence Day, Christmas, and Boxing Day. But we also have the Maulud Nabi Day. All these days, all these holidays are not fixed. That is why we have made provision, because they can change. So you can actually specify the dates for all these holidays and save all your settings, having done all that. So I close this. So that's that about the settings, the payroll settings. Let's now go and create a new staff. Assign that staff to a new salary grade that we have created. I click on add new staff. Let's say Mr. James Ilori Bade as the we have we have put the first name, the middle name. It's an active staff, not on probation. The states of origin of the staff, let's say Lagos. So observe that the local government has changed to all the local governments in Lagos states. Let's say it's from Alimosho. Religion, let's say Islam. Email address is very important that we put the email address of the staff because of the pay slip. As the software sends the pay slip to the respective email address of the staff, it's important to have a valid email address. You go for full-time. We go for we need to specify the category of the staff. We can see senior staff here. Let's go for primary, and let's say it's a subject teacher that teaches only Arabic. We save the information. That's done, and then the software now takes us to where we can do the salary and wages information. We click on the designation. We can see we have two posts that have been assigned, that have been created under the senior staff category. So we can choose any of these, and we can see that the salary information has been retrieved. If we go for this, the salary information is different, so it depends on the salary structure for a particular staff. So presently we have two salary structure defined under the senior staff category. So the other important thing is for us to specify whether this staff will be participating in cooperative, whether the staff will be doing pension. If we know the bank details, this is very important, and the account number for the staff, because this will be used while generating the salary schedule to be sent to the bank for payment. So we need to specify the bank and the bank account number for the staff. The monthly salary advance for staff, this is another very important parameter. If you don't put any figure here, the staff may not be able to get any salary advance if we process using the software. The figure you put here determines the maximum number of the maximum amount of salary advance that can be made available to the staff. I go for 45,000 there. The monthly pension contribution, I go for 17.5%. I go for 17.5% of the basic pay there. The monthly cooperative, I go for 12,000 for this particular staff. And then if I want to if I don't want to make use of any tax rule that I've set up, I want a predefined figure for my tax. I can put it in there. Let's say 4,005. Then I can click on save button here, just to first of all save this information. The other information I may like to do is enable deduction from salary for tuition fee payment. If this staff has got a child in the school, I can click this button. I want to enable the staff. I want to enable the staff to be able to pay on behalf of his or her child in the school. I haven't got any enable the student there. So I click save. Then I close. So I've been able to create the salary information for the staff. I can go on to the academic data, postgraduate, NYSC, and so on and so forth, working experience, references. I can do all these information. I can set all of them up and create the robust database for each staff. Let me click close button there to save us time. Then having done this, I want to quickly show us how to generate and save information about the employee loans. If we want to do loans for employee, let's say for an employee, the one that we just do now, James, is actually done in alphabetical order of names. So I choose James Iloribade there. Loan amount, he applied for a 45,000 naira loan, and the management approved the same amount. The purpose of the loan according to him is on health grant. The loan is applied and approved for. We click on this. But if it's not approved, we choose this. If it's an approved one, we click on that, applied and approved. Then we jump to this section, specify the repayment period in months. Let's say he agreed with the management to pay for 5 months. So that leaves him with 9,000 naira deduction from the salary starting from July 2019 to December 2019. That's for a period of 5 months. As we make a change to these dates, this changes as well automatically. So we can when we run our payslip, the software will deduct the salary. We deduct from the salary automatically the 9,000 naira. I want to go for that. Applicable source accounts for disbursement of loan. This is very important for auditing purpose. Which account is being used to make payment for the loan? I want to go for UBA Bank. The payment method, we give check to the staff and then we save the loan details. So this generates a kind of report about the loan that is being applied for by that staff. We can see the name of the staff, James Ilori Bade. The loan amount applied for 45,000. Loan amount approved is that. Repayment loan amount is the same. He's paying 9,000, and then the person can sign, and this can be kept in and filed in the office documents as a reference for taking the loan. So I can close this. So we have loan application information saved successfully. So I close that. So I've been able to create a loan, process the loan for Mr. James Iloribade to be paying 9,000 every month. I close this. And I want to quickly show us how we can process the IOU as well in the software. I click this. So the staff IOU is different from loan. The loan can be repaid over a period of months, while the IOU should be paid immediately at the end of the month. If I look for Mr. James again, so you look for the new IOU approved. That's the amount that the staff is applying for. Let's say the staff is applying for 45,000, or let's say 450,000. So we get this message because the figure we inserted there is 45,000. That's the maximum advance that the staff can be given before the end of the month. So let's reduce the figure to like 20,000 naira. That's fine. Now transaction method for the IOU, it's cash. Let's go for cash. Let's say we give cash, and we use cash accounts. IOU granted to James. Then we can save that. So this gives us another message there, so we can actually print out this as well, and Mr. James can sign that he has collected IOU. So we have this message. Let the staff know the approval number in case of future cash refund by the staff. Just click OK. So at the moment, IOU balance to date is 20,000. So when we process the salary of July, we expect that the money is deducted automatically from the salary. So I close this. Then let's now go and run the salary schedule and see how the software handles the payroll processing. So to generate the salary schedule, we click on staff salary schedule. We can decide to do it based on let's say the type of staff. I may want to do for senior staff only. I may want to do for all the full staff. Depends on what I want to do, or teaching staff. However, I just like to run for all the staff now. Let's just run it for every staff. I click on that middle button. It's very important. Then run the, we have three options here. Run the payroll by connecting directly with biometrics device specified in the setup. That is if you have a biometrics device already connected and configured. Then run the payroll using the manual download. If you have a time and attendance file from a biometrics device, you can go for that option. For the purpose of this demo, I will go for this option, the already processed biometric attendance log. Do we have any attendance of it? We say no there. Then can go for the month of July. Let's say till 38th of July. We want to run the schedule for this. Yeah, it's very important that we specify the accounts for the payment of staff salary. This is for accounting purpose as well, and auditing reason. We need to specify where the salary is coming out from. Bank deposit is the method that we want to use to pay the staff salary, or we go for bank or wire transfer if we do transfer into respective staff accounts. So I leave all these options as they are. I click on generate. Yeah, the message telling us schedule has not been specified. You haven't defined the tax rule to use, so this time we apply zero tax rule or the specified tax figure for each staff. That is what we have done. So we have this. When we click on OK button, we click on done, we do yes there. So we can see that the salary, the software is processing the salary. You can see the basic pay of each staff that we have already set up. You can see transport, each of the allowances are there, the gross pay, total surcharge. You can see the loan repayment for Mr. James, 9,000 naira, based on the loan that we have already processed for him. Then we can see the salary advance. That's another deduction that is coming out. So the total deduction for him is running to 41,000 naira because of cooperative deduction. So let's just click on this button to see the detailed schedule that the school can file and save, keep in a document. We have this. This gives us the details of the salary schedule for the month of July for the school. You can see the total salary to be paid, total amount on that schedule. We can see the net pay for each staff already specified. Those ones with zeros are the staff that we haven't actually configured the salary structure for. That's why you see them as 0 in the net pay. So I can minimize this. The system is asking if we want to send this detailed staff salaries schedule to appropriate email recipients, like the director of the school or somebody else in charge of payments. I will do no here. Then I will go ahead and click on the next button, which is schedule that we want to send to the bank. This is usually the instruction, in form of the instruction that we can send to the bank for the payment of the staff salary. We can see James Iloribade, the Eco Bank Nigeria, the bank account that I put in there, and the net pay, having done all the deductions. So I can minimize this. Again, that can be emailed to our account officer directly if we have verified that the schedule is fine, is okay to go. So we can do yes or no there, depending on what we want. So I do no here. Generate staff payslip for this schedule. Like we have stated earlier, the software has got the feature to let you email the payslip of respective staff to their email addresses. So we click on yes here first to first of all generate the you can see the payslip. That's a sample payslip for one of the staff there. You can see demo group of school, the address, the other important information about the school, then the allowances, the basic pay, and then we can see the net pay. Move to the next one. This is another pay slip for another staff. If I want to take us directly to the to James Ilori pay slip, I can do Control and F. James, I want to search for James. Okay, so we can see this one in details. That's the pay slip of Mr. James Iloribade that we have just created. We can see the basic salary, the allowance, meal additional benefits, and then we can see the gross pay. Then the deductions. You can see the loan deduction, that's 9,000. Remember that we processed the loan of 45,000 for Mr. Bade with a monthly repayment of 9,000. Then the contribution for cooperative is there, salary advance is there, so we can see 41,000 as the total deduction. And then we have the taxable income, that's deducting 41,000 from this. It gives us 40,750. So we do the tax according to what we specified, and then we have the net pay of 36,250 for the staff. So the next thing, the software will then ask us, are we ready to send the email of the payslip to respective staff? We say yes or no. It depends on what we want to do. Remember, you need the internet connection at this point to be able to send your payslip to respective staff email address. I click on no button here if I don't want to send, and that's the end of the procedures involved in generating the payslip and emailing to individual staff. That's all about the payroll computation process that we have got within the software. We thank you for watching this video, and we look forward to doing business with you. Watch out for the remaining part of the video. Thank you very much.